Good morning everyone. Today in this video we are going to study a new chapter, that is the structural organization in animals, and we are going to introduce the tissue here and the different type of epithelial tissue. So when we are talking about the smallest unit of life, or you can say the structural and functional unit of life, that is cell. Okay, so cell is a microscopic smallest unit that consists of cytoplasm and a special feature, that is nucleus, that is enclosed in a membrane. तो चाहे कोई यूनिसेलुलर ऑर्गेनिज्म है या मल्टी सेलुलर ऑर्गेनिज्म है, उसकी बेसिक यूनिट ऑफ लाइफ क्या है? सिंगल सेल है. ओके, अगर एक यूनिसेलुलर ऑर्गेनिज्म है, उसके सारे लाइफ प्रोसेस एक सिंगल सेल से कंडक्ट हो रहे हैं, वेयर एज इन मल्टी सेलुलर ऑर्गेनिज्म देर इज अ डिविजन ऑफ लेबर. ओके, क्योंकि काम क्या है? बटा हुआ है वहां पे, एंड दे फॉर्म अ ग्रुप फॉर doing these specific functions, because in a multicellular organism the cells are not in direct contact with environment. अगर वो डायरेक्ट कांटेक्ट में होते तो डिवीजन ऑफ लेबर नहीं होता, लेकिन सारे सेल क्या है? एनवायरनमेंट के डायरेक्ट कांटेक्ट में नहीं है, तो सारे लाइफ प्रोसेसेस जैसे डाइजेशन है, रेस्पिरेशन है, एक्सक्रीशन है, वो सेल अपना जो है अकेले नहीं कर पाता. सो दैट्स व्हाई देयर इज अ ग्रुपिंग ओवर देयर. So now tissue is a group of similar cells, or you can say the cells with a similar structure along with intercellular substance performing a specific function and have similar origin. What it means? Tissue is a group of cells having similar structure. A group of cells जिनका structure बिल्कुल similar है, साथ में जो इंट्रासेलुलर सब्सटेंस प्रेजेंट है. इंट्रासेलुलर सब्सटेंस क्या है? जो सेल्स आपस में जहां जुड़े हुए हैं उनके बीच में जितना भी स्पेस प्रेजेंट है, वहां पे जो भी मैट्रिक्स प्रेजेंट है, वेदर इट इज अ कार्बोहाइड्रेट, वेदर इट इज अ प्रोटीन, जो कुछ भी प्रेजेंट है वहां पे, वो भी सिमिलर है. ओके, फंक्शन भी सिमिलर है, और ओरिजिन जहां से वो अराइज हुए हैं वो भी सिमिलर है. तो ओरिजिन जब हम कह रहे हैं तो वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द जर्म लेयर्स. ओके, so in a tissue cells may be dissimilar in structure and function, but they are similar in origin. For example, if you are talking about if you are remembering the xylem and phloem in plant tissues, so they are having a similar function, that is a group of cells of xylem and phloem cells, but they perform different function as well as having different structure, but they have a common function, that is transport of water and food material. Okay, so a tissue maybe have dissimilar in structure and function, but they have similar in origin. One more example you can take over here is the blood cells. Okay, a blood is a uh, liquid tissue that contain different type of cells, for example RBC, WBC, and these have different structure and functions. Okay, so now the word animal tissue was coined by Bichet. Then the study of tissue is known as histology, and histology word is given by Mayer. Father of histology is again Bichet. Study of tissue is also called microscopic anatomy, and the founder of the microscopic anatomy is Marcelo Malfigine. Okay, so these are the different name of the scientist you have to learn. Now we can say the different type of tissues have different structure that are specially suited to their function. So they उनका जितना भी structure derive होता है, differentiate होता है, वो किसके कारण से? Because of their function. Okay, for example if we are talking about nervous tissues are longer one, लॉन्ग है, लंबे हैं, क्यों? क्योंकि उनको मैसेज जो है आगे फॉरवर्ड करना है और विद इन मिली सेकेंड्स वो मैसेज फॉरवर्ड करते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स लेंथ. ओके, so a tissue have different structure basis on their functions. Tissues may be held together by a sticky extracellular matrix that coat the cell tissue, that is known as V. So when we are talking about animal tissues we are going to study is of four types. So here I am going to tell you about the type of animal tissue, their origin and their functions. Okay. For example, the first one is epithelial tissue, and the origin is all the three germs layer: ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. The main function of epithelial tissue is protection, secretion and absorption. Second type of animal tissue is connective tissue, as it shows the name. It is for the support, binding, storage, protection and circulation also, and its origin is mesoderm. Muscular tissue is for the contraction and locomotion, or you can say the movement, contraction and movement, and its origin is mesoderm. Nervous tissue for conduction of stimuli and control of our body, and its origin is ectoderm. So these are the four tissues and their origin with their functions. So now let's start with the epithelial tissue. These are the covering tissue because these are the present on the all the covering of internal organs and the covering of our body, skin. Okay, so these are the tissues that are tightly packed with a little intercellular matrix. बिल्कुल पास पास है तो बीच में जो सेलुलर स्पेस है वो कम है. कम होने के कारण जो इंटरसेलुलर मैट्रिक्स है वो यहाँ पे कम प्रेजेंट है. One surface of this tissue is exposed to air, or you can say the internal fluid, and the other surface of the tissue is attached to a basement membrane, a special membrane. सारी layers के नीचे एक special membrane present होती है, that is basement membrane, as shown in the first diagram. Okay, the epithelial tissue is without vascular supply. What is the meaning of vascular supply? यहाँ पे कोई blood supply नहीं है. ओके, न्यूरल सप्लाई है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इन योर स्किन, आपको स्किन में सेंसेशंस हैं, लेकिन यहाँ पे कोई ब्लड सप्लाई नहीं होती है. नाउ अ क्वेश्चन अराइज, इफ देयर इज नो ब्लड सप्लाई, देन हाउ epithelial tissue gets its nutrition? Epithelial tissue gets its nutrition from a layer that is below the basement membrane, and it is of areolar connective tissue layer. बेसमेंट मेम्ब्रेन से बिल्कुल नीचे एरियोलर कनेक्टिव टिश्यूज की लेयर है, एंड अ वेरी थिन लेयर इज देयर, एंड दिस लेयर इज फुली सप्लाइड बाय ब्लड वेसल्स. तो यहां से जो भी न्यूट्रिशन है वो बेसमेंट मेम्ब्रेन के थ्रू एपिथेलियल टिश्यू पे जाता है. एज शोन इन द सेकंड डायग्राम, अ कनेक्टिव टिश्यू इज शोन below the basement membrane of the epithelial tissue. Now, what is its main function? As I have told you, these are the covering tissue. So it covers the surface of the body and lines the internal organs and the cavities. It acts as a barrier against mechanical injury, pathogens and dehydration. For example, our skin. It provides a surface for absorption, excretion and transport of molecules. So these are the common features of epithelial tissues. Now, the epithelial tissue is divided into two types, that is simple epithelium and compound epithelium, or we can call it stratified epithelium tissue. So, the simple epithelium tissue is composed of the cells that are arranged end to end in a single layer. एक single layer बनाते हैं a simple epithelium tissue, as shown in the first diagram over here. से एक single layer present है basement membrane के ऊपर. and these are usually present at the lining of our body cavities, ducts and tubes, whereas the stratified or compound epithelium tissue consists of two or more layers of epithelium cells and act as a protective function. That is, for example, in our skin is having a three layer of epithelium tissue. Okay, so as shown in the second diagram, there is a different layers that are present over here. So these are the division on the basis of the number of layers: simple epithelium and compound epithelium. So now let's do the classification of epithelial tissue. As I have told you, on the basis of layers, it can be divided into simple and compound epithelial tissue. Now, based on the shape of the cell, the simple epithelium tissue is of squamous, cuboidal, columnar. Sometimes some cilia are present. Hair-like structure are present on these cells, so we can count it as a ciliated epithelial tissue. And sometimes it looks like some different layers, but it is a false one, so it is known as pseudo-stratified tissue. On the basis of stretching ability, the compound tissue is divided into stratified and transitional tissues. Stratified, again on the basis of their shape, or you can say the cell shape, is stratified squamous tissue and stratified cubical tissue. On the basis of the presence of the protein, stratified squamous tissue is again divided into keratinized and non-keratinized stratified squamous tissues. So let's study these different type of tissue one by one. So the first type of simple epithelial tissue is squamous epithelial tissue. Squamous, you can remember it with the help of squeeze. So these are the flat cells with the irregular boundary arranged in a form of single layer. Sometimes these appears polygonal in shape and looks like a tile on a floor because they are so compactly packed with each other. So they are also known as pavement epithelium tissues. These squamous tissues are present in the lining of the cavities like mouth, esophagus, nose, pericardium, alveoli. It also forms the lining of blood vessels. They are involved in functions like for diffusion process. So it is present in the portion where the diffusion is required. For example, in Bowman capsules, the special cells of you can say the special cells podocytes जो हमारे किडनी सेल्स है उनके अंदर असेंडिंग लिम्ब में जो नेफ्रॉन का असेंडिंग लिम्ब है लूप ऑफ हेनले alveoli of lungs and small bronchioles. It also forms the covering of tongue and skin. In skin, these are arranged in many layers to prevent wear and tear. So squamous epithelium tissues पेवमेंट टिश्यूज हैं क्योंकि ये टाइल लाइक स्ट्रक्चर बना देते हैं, आपस में इतने कंपैक्टली पैक्ड हैं जैसे कि आप फ्लोर पे टाइल्स आपस में कंपैक्टली पैक्ड होती हैं. ओके, अपने जितने भी इंटरनल ऑर्गन्स हैं, इंटरनल ऑर्गन्स की लाइनिंग, कैविटीज की लाइनिंग स्क्वेमस एपिथेलियम टिश्यूज बनाते हैं. ओके, स्पेशली ब्लड वेसल्स की, माउथ, ओसिफेगस, नोज, alveoli, pericardium, tongue, skin, and also present in our special Bowman capsules, the ascending and limbs of the loop of Henle. The second type of tissue is cuboidal epithelial tissue. As the name shows that the shape of the tissues is cube-like. Okay, so cube-like tissues are having a centrally located nucleus in it, appears as square in sections, but on free surface they appear hexagonal, as shown in these first and second diagram. फर्स्ट डायग्राम में आपको क्यूबॉइडल शेप, स्क्वायर शेप नजर आते हैं, और सेकंड डायग्राम में आपको हेक्सागोनल शेप, अगर आप ऊपर से देख रहे हो तो हेक्सागोनल शेप नजर आ रहे हैं. So these are the tissues that are found in kidney tubules, thyroid vesicles, and in our various glands. It forms the germinal epithelium in gonads also. Gonads means your testes and ovaries. It also help in the absorption, excretion, and secretion. As its main function is absorption, so it have some finger-like projections of cytoplasm that is shown in third diagram, and these finger like projections are microvilli. जैसे stomach में, intestine में microvilli finger like structure present है for absorption. हमारी body के different parts में जहां पर भी cuboidal epithelial tissue जहां absorption कर रहा है, वहां पे भी इसी तरह से brush like स्ट्रक्चर माइक्रोविलाई प्रेजेंट है. सो वहां पे ये क्यूबॉइडल टिश्यू ब्रश बॉर्डर क्यूबॉइडल टिश्यू कहलाता है. ओके, सो फॉर एग्जांपल इन द नेफ्रॉन ऑफ द किडनी इट इज a brush like border, and you can say these brush like border increase the surface area for the absorption process. The third type of simple epithelial tissue is columnar epithelial tissue. The columnar epithelial tissues are having tall pillar-like cylinder cells, लंबे लंबे cells present होते हैं यहाँ पे, and having the nucleus base that is located on the base. Nucleus यहाँ पे base पे, basement membrane की तरफ जो है nucleus present है. Again, their free surface may have some microvilli, so वहां पे brush border like columnar epithelial tissue हो जाते हैं ये. They may be present in the lining of stomach and intestine, so they help in secretion and absorption process. The next type of simple epithelium tissue is ciliated epithelium tissue. Okay, ciliated epithelium tissues have cilia, the hair-like structure present on the simple cuboidal or columnar epithelial tissue. यहाँ पे क्या है, जो प्रोटोप्लाज्म है उसकी आउटग्रोथ्स आ गई हैं जो कि एक हेयर लाइक स्ट्रक्चर बना देती हैं, दैट इज नोन एज सीलिया. नॉर्मली इनकी शेप या तो क्यूबॉइडल होगी या कॉलमिनर होगी, मींस या तो स्क्वायर होगा या एक लॉन्ग स्ट्रक्चर बनाएंगे, जैसे कि डायग्राम में शो है, दैट इज सीलिएटेड कॉलमिनर एपिथेलियम. सो यहाँ पे जो हेयर लाइक प्रोजेक्शंस हैं, these are the projections that give direction to the moving material. Okay, so these are present in the lining of nephron, trachea, fallopian tube, and these are the cilia that move particles or the mucus in a specific direction over the epithelium. So wherever there is a requirement of movement of particles, these ciliated epithelium tissues are present. The next type of epithelium is glandular epithelium tissue. Again, these are modified structure of columnar and cuboidal epithelium tissue, and their modification is for the secretion only. क्योंकि जो glands है, glands का function होता है secrete करना. Okay, so it may be a single layer, तो isolated cells होंगे, single cells होंगे. For example, in our the cells that are present in our alimentary canal, goblet cells. Whereas अगर ये cluster में present है, तो these are known as multicellular glandular epithelium tissue. For example, in our salivary gland. So again, depending on the gland where these are present, हमारे पास दो टाइप के ग्लैंड्स हैं, दैट इज एक्सोक्राइन एंड एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड्स. Exocrine glands secrete products through duct or tube, and these glands are present in our salivary gland that are secrete saliva, mucus, earwax, the oil glands that secrete oil, the milk gland that secrete milk, the digestive enzymes and other products. So these are exocrine glands, whereas the endocrine glands are the ductless gland. ये जो ग्लैंड है डक्टलेट्स है, तो ये इनके जो हार्मोन्स है, इनका जो प्रोडक्ट है वो हार्मोन्स है जो हमारी बॉडी में अपने टारगेट सेल पे जाकर अपना फंक्शन करता है। जहां पर से सिक्रीट हुआ वहां फंक्शन नहीं करेगा, लेकिन जो एक्सोक्राइन ग्लैंड है वहां से जो भी सिक्रीशन है सेम उसी जगह फंक्शन करेगा जहां से वो सिक्रीट हुआ है। सो देयर इज अ डायग्राम शोन ओवर हियर दैट इज showing the glandular epithelium. So glandular epithelium is especially for the secretion of some important material that are required by our body. Now the next one is the stratified or compound epithelium tissue. As I have told you that compound epithelial tissues are multi-layered. So these are tissues that are made up of more than one layer of cells. So they have limited role in secretion and absorption. इनका जो main function है that is protection, or you can say protection against mechanical or chemical stress. So they are present on the dry surface of the skin, pharynx, the moist surface of the buccal cavity, inner lining of ducts of salivary glands and duct of pancreas. Now let's take a look on the junctions. As we know, all the cells in the epithelium tissues are held together with a little of intracellular material. So some links are present between these cells, and these are the specialized structure that provide structural and functional link between the individual cells and known as junctions. तो जितने भी epithelial tissues हैं उनके बीच में थोड़ा सा intracellular material matrix present है, तो वहां पे special features हैं जो इन cells के बीच में आपस में जो है एक link बना देते हैं between these cells, and these links are known as junctions. So the junctions are of three types: tight junction, adhering junction and gap junctions. So the tight junctions are the junctions that prevent substance leak across a tissue. So leakage को prevent करेंगे, जैसे नाम है tight, तो tight junction है तो leakage को prevent करेंगे. The next one is the adhering junction. These are the structure that is cementing like structure. और adhering junction क्या करते हैं, सीमेंट जैसे दो ब्रिक्स को जोड़ता है, तो ये दो नेबर सेल्स को आपस में जोड़ते हैं. Okay. The next one is the gap junctions, the specialized structures that are help to cell to communicate with each other. So these are the links that help in the communication between the cells. So they connect the cytoplasm of the adjoining cells and help in the flow of ions and molecules. So let's see these different type of junctions with the help of diagram. So here is the diagram showing the different type of junctions. The first junction here is the tight junctions. The tight junction, जैसे कि नाम से है, seals the neighbor cells together to prevent leakage, as shown in the diagram. The second one is the adherent junction. These are the actin bundles, and these are the adhering है, तो adhering cementing का काम करेंगे, cementing का काम है, तो ये दो cells को आपस में जोड़ते हैं. The third one is the gap junctions. Gap junctions passage provide करेगा water molecules को, ion molecules को और बड़े molecules को for the movement of particle from one cells to another cells. So in this video we have studied about the introduction of the tissue, then the different type of tissues with their origin, their introduction, and the different type of epithelial tissue with the help of diagrams, their function and their presence, or you can say their occurrence, कहाँ पर present है, उनका क्या function है, उनका क्या structure है, हमने ये पढ़ा. और then we have studied about the various type of junction in the epithelial tissues.